For the first time since 2019, we have nothing but conference games in the CAA, which means we have a loaded slate of games to offer to our friends.
Love it.
The headliner is number 2 JMU welcoming number 16 Towson, and that's a game that we've been had circled on the calendar since like mid-July, but it's also a game that looked like it might lose a little appeal after Shane Simpson went out with the knee injury. I don't know, man. After a record-setting Saturday for Towson, are we back on?
Oh, it's back on. You know, when Flacco called it a slump buster.
It was definitely that.
It's funny that Bucknell's being called a slump buster. But anyways, he called a fellow FCS team a slump buster. What they did in the first half is unbelievable. Flacco had 6 touchdowns. 5 of them were to Leatherberry, who was his roommate. Found out in our article this week, which was really cool.
Yep.
So, yeah, anytime you have 2 guys like that playing as well as they did last week.
And you said they did that in one half, right?
They did that in one half.
One half. I just want to make sure that we definitely made that point.
I'm not even sure if they played in the second half. They probably shouldn't have.
I think they did.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. Yeah, absolutely. When you have Flacco at quarterback and that guy at wide receiver, it's a big-time showdown with that JMU secondary, and then if the defensive line can get there to stop Flacco from even attempting those passes.
Right. So JMU took over sole possession of first place with a 38-10 victory against William & Mary. In that game, Ben DiNucci threw for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. He ranks 4th in the FCS in completion percentage at just under 70%. That being said, you have to assume that it all comes down to Flacco and the TU passing game against JMU, because the Dukes have held 7 of 8 opponents under 100 yards rushing, and they lead the FCS in rush defense. And given, again, the fact that Simpson's not in that backfield, it's not the same as it was when number 13 was back there for Towson. It's definitely going to be Flacco attacking through the air, and then our friend RonDell Carter and John Daka trying to get there off the edge. Guys will be watching on Sunday more than likely. I mean, I don't know. I think am I missing anything? It's got to just be that, right?
No, you nailed it. I think Towson's path to win this game it will be a shootout.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. If they want to win this game, it's going to be a shootout, because that JMU offense they're explosive against the lower tier FCS teams, but against the higher tier FCS teams, they are insanely efficient. They don't turn the ball over. As you said, DiNucci can beat you through the air, and then they have just this stable of running backs. And I'm not sure I see the Towson offense being able to Towson defense being able to slow down that efficient offense. So if
they run the hell out of the ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it'll have to be a shootout if Towson hopes to come out. But the thing is, they have the weapons and the team to do that. Like, they're built to do that.
No question. So yeah, I mean, the onus is on Rashad Robinson and that secondary to make plays. But again, it's Daka and it's Carter. Can they get to the quarterback? And speaking of RonDell Carter, we're lucky enough to have him on the show. So RonDell Carter right now. RonDell Carter, my man. Hey, thank you for joining me today, man. It's been a long time. Not a long time, but at least a month and some change since I saw you last.
Yeah, man. I know. It's good to see you, man. I ain't know we was going to talk again. I'm glad to get to talk to y'all again, man.
Well, you know, here's the beauty of being awesome is that I get to talk to you whenever you play good. So, you know, we probably could do it more often than we do. Honestly, I kind of temper it a little bit to give everybody else a chance to get on the show. I could have you on every week if I wanted to.
I appreciate that, man.
Hey, man, huge week for you last week. A career-high 10 tackles, 6 TFLs at William & Mary. The latter, the 6 TFLs, is most by any FCS player this season. Let's start there, man. What was it about your preparation for the Tribe, or maybe the way they tried to scheme you guys up, that allowed you to completely ruin their day?
Yeah, well, our defensive coaching staff put in a good game plan for us. You know, they did it to where the we had to think too much. You know, and you can't ask for nothing more than that as a ball player. You know, you go out there, just get a game plan for you to go out there and play fast. You know what I mean? The week before, you had Doc. You know, Doc would go off for 5.5 TFLs, and now then the next week, I don't know if they schemed them up differently or I don't know what it was, but I just know when we got out there, we were just playing so fast, everything was just contagious. So after he got the sack on the first play, after he did that, like, we knew from there, like, man, we got to ball out. You know what I mean? From there on out, all that stuff was just contagious at that point.
Yeah, you mentioned John Daka. We've said on the show all season long that we think this is the best defensive line, not just in the CAA, but in the country. There at JMU. What is it like playing down the line from a guy like John? What is it that the two of you guys do to complement one another and disrupt the offense even more than if it was just one of you out there?
Yeah, we kind of go hand in hand with each other, man. Daka is more of a speed guy that can do power here and there, and I'm more of a power guy that can do speed here and there. So it's kind of like a pick your poison sort of deal. And then it's like, even if teams want to, try to tune us out, you still got Mike in the deep in the middle that's handling that business as well. So, man, it's kind of fun because it's just like, you know what, even if I'm not doing so well in the game or even if I'm not doing so well, I know somebody on this D-line is doing well. It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be me. If it's not me, it's going to be Mike. If it's not Mike, it's going to be a D, and so on and so forth. If it's not D, it's going to be Daka. You know what I mean? And that we've shown that consistently over the course of the season. If one team is taking one of us out of the game, one of the other three is going to step up. You know what I mean? So it's always good to have that, in the back of your head, knowing that, you know what, even if I'm taken out of the game, we're doing something right at the end of the day because somebody on D-line or the other, the front seven is going to still be eating. So that's still a good thing for us.
No doubt. It's funny, and I have to get this barb in. I can't help it. You transferred to JMU from Rutgers, and we talked about that. So you go FBS to FCS. But if y'all play Rutgers tomorrow, give me the Dukes by like 1 million. Like, it's a rout.
Yeah. You know what? Let me tell you this. I played at both programs, and I'm taking my guys over anybody. Period. I don't care if it's Rutgers. I don't care if it's Florida. I don't care if it's anything. I'm taking my guys over anybody. So, unfortunately, I'm taking my guys over Rutgers anything.
Hey, in all seriousness, though, for those who don't know and maybe missed a piece on you over the summer, let's take 60 seconds and kind of walk people through how you got to where you are right now. Being one of the faces of JMU, what kind of perspective did you gain over the last few years that's really helped you become not just the player that you are, but the individual that you are, which in my opinion is somebody who's ready for the next level?
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, so, I came here from Rutgers. I spent 2 years at Rutgers. My first 2 years there, playing football. I redshirted 1 year, and then I completed my redshirt freshman season. I played 5 games, but, I just wasn't, where I thought I should be and where I could potentially have been, far as weight-wise, positionally, all that kind of stuff. I just thought that I could do more. So, like I said, my brother was here. I decided to transfer here, going to the 2018 season. And, like I said, I told you guys before, I don't regret that at all, man. Like, that was the best decision I had in my life. And, when I got here, I was able to see what JMU has that a lot of other teams don't have, whether it's FBS or FCS. And the group of guys we have in that locker room is just unmatched. You know what I mean? When you have a group of dudes that go out there and they just love each other and care for each other and they'll do anything and they'll run through a brick wall for you, you can't ask for nothing better than that. You know what I mean? And I got a group of guys in there that loves me, respects me, and it's the same thing. It's reciprocated. I love them and I respect them. And, when that's contagious around the whole team, that allows you to go out there and be able to win any given day. And, that helps us out a lot. So a lot of people think that, it's our talent, and that has something to do with it. But I'm telling you guys, man, the locker room we have is unmatched. And I don't think nobody can top that right now.
Well, you go 3 straight wins against ranked opponents, and then you go, to a team that at least would like to think that they're a rival of y'all's down the road. And I mean, look, William & Mary has not been an easy opponent for people this year. They've given some folks trouble. You guys go down there and you handle your business. So now it's Towson week. And it's a game that, across the country, I think folks had this thing circled since about mid-July. Towson was even ranked ahead of you guys in a few publications coming into the year, which that's bold, but that's real. And they may be a different team without number 13 in the backfield, but tell me what you know about Towson right now as you guys kind of wrap up your week of prep.
Yeah, so, I know what Coach Ambrose preaches. Coach Ambrose, I've known him since I was probably about 14, 15. I did all the Towson camps as a freshman and sophomore in high school. He's been to my high school. I've talked to him face to face on a number of occasions. So I know the attitude that Coach Ambrose team is going to bring. They're going to come out there and they're going to try to punch us in the mouth. That's just what they are. They're a physical football team. They're going to play hard. They're going to play smart, and they're going to be very confident. You know what I mean? That's the type of stuff that he preaches. Obviously, you have Coach. You have Joe Flacco's brother. You got Tom there. Then you have the running back. I forgot his last name, but number 28, who's a very physical running back. You have Leatherberry on the outside. It's going to go out there and present some problems. So, as we wrapping this up, man, we got to do a great job of containing Flacco. Not only can he throw the ball, but we all know he's very good at extending plays. And you know what I mean? If he doesn't want to extend a play, he has number 28 who can run the ball, and he's going to try to run people over. So, you know, we got to be ready for that, man. It was a very physical week of practice. You know, Thursday we're going to wrap this up, you know, correct all the mistakes that we had this past week, and get ready to go out there and try to get a dub on Saturday.
No doubt. You mentioned Tom. What is the challenge unique to preparing for a player like him that does have that dual threat, you know, ability that can run the ball a little bit, but, you know, let's be honest, probably one of the top 3 to 5 passers in all of the FCS.
Yeah. So, you know, it's crazy. I talked to my guy, you know, he was at Rutgers, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to a few of my guys that was there, and they were telling me the stuff that he's doing in the games is the stuff that he was doing in practice there. So, you know, before even last season, I was already kind of prepared for the stuff that he was going to be doing. You know what I mean? So he presents a lot of problems for you guys, like for teams. You know, for us, he keeps defensive coordinators up at night. You know, he's going to be a guy that can go out there and extend plays. He's going to throw the ball pretty well. And not only, he might not even want to run the ball sometimes, he might want to run around the pocket to still get a 30-yard gain down the field. So we got to be ready to go out there and contain this man, because if not, he's going to go out there and get a lot of bombs on us. He's going to make us pay. Tom Flacco's not a guy you can go out there, you allow mistakes to happen. You cannot make mistakes on him because he'll make you pay for it.
That's great insight. I think Rutgers might want a mulligan on that one too while they're at it. Hey, are you bummed out that you guys aren't wearing more uniforms this year? I saw an interview with Coach Cignetti the other day, and a local media person asked him why y'all weren't wearing more different helmets and uniforms and whatnot, and he said that school down south seems to do just fine in what they wear every week. Are you bummed out? You want to wear some different stuff?
Nah, I mean, at the end of the day, we win the ball games. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know, to the outside, obviously, you know, we want to be wearing more uniforms. That's been tradition over the years, but I mean, we're 7-1 right now. We're undefeated in the CAA. Right now, we got a good ball rolling. At the end of the day, man, like, I'm just happy that we win it. You know what I mean? I'd rather be, you know, wearing one uniform and winning every game in the CAA than wearing a bunch of different ones and be a lot of toss-ups, you know, in the week. So I'm good with what we're doing right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, hey, look, that traditional JMU look is clean anyway, so it's fine. Y'all look good. Hey, for real though, what we talked about it a little bit when I was there, you know, playing for a new head coach. You're 8 weeks in with Cignetti. What's the experience been like in year one for him at JMU from your perspective?
Yeah, so I've had, you know, 4 coaches in 5 years, and, you know, by far, he's one of the smartest coaches I've been around. You know, 100%. He knows exactly what he's doing on all 3 phases. You know, I'm not saying none of my other coaches didn't, but there's something different about Coach Cignetti. He's real calm, cool, and collected. He's never, like, you know, real rowdy, anything like that. He's calm at all points. Even if, you know, if you look at the past games we played, you know, like Villanova and Stony Brook, when we were down in those games, Coach Cignetti was calm and cool the whole time. You know what I mean? And that's, like, something great to have, especially in a hostile situation like Stony Brook, for instance. Like, I remember actually, you know, right before overtime started, before we went out there, he told me what he wanted me to do at the coin toss. He was just like, "Are you having fun yet?" I was just like, "Of course I'm having fun." Like, even in, like, a serious game like that, he still find a way to be calm and cool and poised, man. So, I mean, I've learned that, you know, and that actually has helped me, you know, grow this season. Like, this entire time, through every game, even if we, you know, get down a touchdown or a team scores, there's no point in, you know, getting all rowdy and stuff, because, like, he's calm the whole time, and that kind of stuff spreads throughout the whole team.
No doubt. That's cool, man. That's cool. You having fun yet?
Yeah, it is. That's real cool.
All right, I'm going to let you out of here, but before I do that, I'm going to put you on the hot seat. The day before we were on campus was the night that Jimmy Moreland announced himself to the NFL and in Redskins preseason game. NFL guy or JMU guys flash all over the NFL all the time, though. That's not new.
Yeah.
And it's no secret that, you know, among the FCS, pro scouts are in Harrisonburg probably more than they're anywhere else. So I want you to play scout right now, and I want you to tell me on that defense. And again, it's one that we talk about on this show every week. It feels like, for my money, it's the best defense in the FCS, and also a defense that could compete with FBS opponents as well. How many guys on that defense do you think, in your opinion, are pro guys? And by that, I don't just mean NFL, XFL, CFL, whatever. Pro guys on that defense, go.
Right now.
Right now.
I'm taking all 11 of my guys. And I ain't saying I'm taking all 11 of mine. I'm telling you, like, I'm taking them right now. I'm taking all 11. You know what I mean? You can take any guy, any position. You know what I mean? And I truly mean that. You know what I mean? Even if you look at the secondary, who some people believe we have struggled this year, you really look at it, man. A lot of teams want to have my guys on their team. You know what I mean? I truly believe that. You know what I mean? Even that you can take a guy like Amos, who not only is playing safety, but he also can go out there and return punts for you. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we know Rashad. A lot of people don't talk about Dimitri Holloway and Landon Word, who doing a great job of filling out gaps. You know, Demetrius a tackling machine, and Lane is he's 6'4", 230 at linebacker, running sideline to sideline and plugging gaps. So, you know what I mean? And we know what our D-line can do. Adam Smith is a great safety. He has, 3 interceptions this year, 4 interceptions, I believe. He's doing his thing. And then we also have corner, Wesley McCormick and Torres Carroll, who's improved each and every week. So I'm taking all 11 of my guys right now. You would think somebody put ready. I'm taking all 11 of mine.
All right, yeah, you crushed that. Look, man, you're one of my favorite players in all of college football. One of my favorite dudes to talk to. I really appreciate you hopping on the show with us this week. And something tells me it won't be the last time that we talk.
I hope not, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, man, best of luck this week and the rest of the way. We'll be following you guys all the way to Frisco. RonDell Carter's a man.
He's awesome. Dude, a really good interview. I
do a bad job of not playing favorites when it comes to RonDell because he's legit like one of my favorite players to watch, but more importantly, just one of my favorite guys to have a conversation with. Really appreciate him being on the show. Shout out to Chris from JMU for hooking it all up. Here's the deal on Flow this week. We mentioned that we have 5 conference games. It's Richmond in Delaware. It's Elon in Rhode Island, William and Mary in Maine, Stony Brook, Villanova, Towson and JMU. All of those have one thing in common. Well, 2 things. They're CAA, and they're live on Flow.
Correct.
We've also got some great content that I want to point out. I do a bad job of that on here sometimes. We got content on guys like Flacco and Leatherbury, who we mentioned. Huge weeks last week. Also roommates. Apparently they don't bowl together. I'm not sure what that's about, but you have to go to FloFootball.com and find out. Main freshman Joe Fagnano had a majorly awesome game, dude. Like, incredible debut for that dude in his first start for the Black Bears.
Insane.
Yeah, absolutely. And then JMU's D'Angelo Amos, who another guy that we love to watch play. He impacts the game in about as many ways as humanly possible. Peace on him. I can keep going. That's just to name a few. Those are all up and live right now. So check that out and lock it into FloFootball.com or the Flow Sports app on Saturday for 5 conference rivalries.